Hey YouTube, it's Aaron 619 coming back at you here with another video. I had mentioned in my last video that I had a pickup that I wanted to show. I just wanted to make a separate video for it because I wanted to give it its due. It's just a fantastic addition that I've added to the collection, and I'm really excited about having this one. I own it raw, but it was a kind of a damaged one, and I wanted to get a good example of it, and I finally got one. So I've set a little background here. This is a game program souvenir that I picked up at the game that me, Tops 85 401, Maiko, and JMVP Bob went to during the Nationals. We had got some tickets from Bob, hooked us up to the White Sox and Indians game, and just an incredible experience that I had. And I'm always going to tell you this, guys, but thank you for making that experience awesome for me. That stadium alone just has so much history to it. It's just absolutely incredible. So I remember sitting down and just kind of looking around and taking it all in, knowing in my head that some of the greatest Negro League players have played on that field down there. This stadium hosted the first Negro League All-Star game, and I knew all of this when I sat down. So it was kind of heartfelt when I got a chance to go to that stadium because just I knew what that stadium had represented and what happened, during that All-Star game that was played there. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get started. I want to introduce everybody to Willie Smith, nicknamed Wonderful Willie. Some folks may know him, some folks may not know him, but he was just an absolutely incredible ball player that began his career in the Negro Leagues with the Birmingham Black Barons. Was an incredible pitcher, in the Negro Leagues, but he could do it all. This is what he was best known for, is that he could play multiple positions. He could hit, he could pitch, and he was incredible. He had got his nickname Wonderful Willie. He played in the Detroit Tigers farm system and played for Syracuse, which was their top farm club. And he ended up going 14-2 that one year, and he batted over 380. And that's why they called him Wonderful Willie. So that name just kind of stuck with him for the rest of his life. But Smith is best kind of remembered for his game-winning pitch homer on opening day for the 1969 Chicago Cubs. But he surely deserves to be recalled for a much more enduring achievement. He was the last major league and the only African American player to ever to have pitched and played multiple positions in the field in 15 or more games, each in the same season, which is just absolutely incredible, man. He was remarkable, man, and when you look at Willie Smith's numbers, the numbers don't tell the true tale to who this guy really was. I mean, he was one of those guys that was really multi-talented, I should say. Started off as a young man and wanted to play football and was highly sought out and recruited by some of the top colleges that was recruiting back then. But he had broke his arm, and then the rest is kind of history from that point. And then he got into baseball and developed a passion to play baseball, and ended up kind of pitching for some local teams, not really a professional Negro League team. They had these kind of small teams that were outside of the Negro Leagues that they used to kind of have to kind of challenge the Negro League players. And he was on one of those all-star teams, and they ended up pitching against the black Birmingham Barons, and he struck out just about everybody that came up to bat. And right there in the moment when that game was over with, the owner and the coach walked up to him and offered him a contract, and the rest was history, man. Just a fantastic story. So I'm really excited about having this phenomenal card in my collection, and I can go on and talk about this guy, but for time purposes, that's just a little bit about this guy. Again, he's an Alabama native, and it was really difficult for this guy because he grew up in the segregated South. And once he began his professional career with the Birmingham Black Barons, he just was amazing for them. He was so amazing that he was selected to go play in the All-Star game, and he actually was the starting pitcher for that team that played in Kaminsky Park. So believe me when I tell you guys that going to that game was just more than going to the game. It was phenomenal for me, and I'm gonna thank you guys again, man, just for making that are sharing that experience with me, man, because it was truly amazing. So Again, wonderful Willie, guys. An amazing ball player and a player that I will never ever forget. And that's all I got, guys. So until the next video, as always, you guys stay blessed out there, and I'll talk to YouTubers on the next one. Bye.